it's in the rules. So that's nice to see that the chat know the rules, or some of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make it look, it doesn't make it look so
dodgy. Fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is annoying. This is really annoying me. One more problem tonight, and like I say, it's just going to be a case of push the pro back a week.
Disco's having quite a scrap with D Biggs as well.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Bev, get Floyd off the PlayStation. I don't know if it's our end or if it's the PlayStation or what, but get Floyd off the PlayStation. This is the 4th restart.
What, are you shutting all the devices down at home?
No, I'm just telling Littleton to go for PlayStation. I don't know if it's that or what, but...
Yeah.
Right, so what we'll do is... We did 3 laps, so knock that down to 20. The first lap will be a rolling start to get back into the grid order. I'll read it out. Dan will just have... If Dan can get in, Dan will just have to start at the back.
Okay, Disco's just disconnected or left or something.
Yeah. Right, I'll just invite you in with everybody else. Right, Andy, Jamie, D Biggs, Emo, Kelly, Monkey, Peaceful, Dan, Send. Welshie. Oh, this is where I wish people would appear online. Disco. Gary. Oh, come on, load. Oh, my friends list is taking a while to load as I scroll down so quickly. It's just like not being able to keep up. Keegs. Little Each. Oh, if everybody appeared online, this would be so much fucking easier. It's an option you can do, but it just means I've got to scroll through every single person just to make sure, just to make sure they're all in. Right, let me jump in the in-game chat dead quickly. Anybody there? Anybody there? Right, this is doing me fucking head in now. I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to get in. Just waiting for a few more people to get in this bit so we can hear everybody. Jamie has been lagging. Shut up, Keegs. I'll get your dad to mute you again.
Fucking him, man. So how are we doing this formation lap?
Right, so formation lap like you guys do at Motive. So go from the qualifying slots you was in. I don't know if everybody's in the game chat yet so they can hear. Grid order I'll read out on the stream. Andy, you were second. No, you wasn't, Sutty. You was 11th because of your grid penalty. I don't know if Peaceful's in this yet. Yeah, yeah. Sooty 10th, no, Liam 10th because Sooty had a grid penalty. Sooty 11th, Monkey Boy 12th, Welshie 13th. Yeah, just one lap, then go sort of thing. If Dan can get him, I need Gary, Craig, and Peaceful to join the chat. Well, I've took a couple of laps off. It was 22 lap race, so I've took a couple of laps off. So it's going to be a 19 lap race basically. Where's Gary? So rolling start based on your so the leader goes at the line. Well, leader can go when he wants, but you can't overtake her to the line. And I need Gary and Little Leech in here. Yeah.
So is it when the leaders cross the line, that's when race starts? I think you can't go until you hit the starting line, because if you're saying the leader's going to go at the last corner, everybody else has still got to come in that hill and the leader's fucked off on the straight.
Alright. Yeah.
Everybody needs to be on that straight, and when the leader hits that starting line, he goes.
Right.
And we all go.
So leader goes on the right. All right. So leader goes on the start line. I need Little Leech and Gary to join this headset. Okay, right, you're here. Right, okay. So leader's going to go at the session. Line up where you qualified. So 4th and 7th. All right. If it does it again, if it goes down again, we'll postpone on it until next week. All right. Yeah, that's yeah. Shouldn't take you too long to get into your position. Right. Emo URP8. Alright. Sooty, don't forget. Right, so I'll let you get back to your parties. If it fucks up one more time, we push it back a week. No, start Sooty, P11. P11. Chris is last. Keegs, you're 9th. Right. Back into the party. We're going to get going. Right.
Alright.
That's took a while.
Right. Are we good?
Yeah, I think so. That's took a while to explain what's going off.
Right, they all right?
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, I don't think Dan can. I don't know if he's got in or not, but he's still.
Matthew Duffin, it's not working. I'm missing this round. Cannot use this application. The data for the following application is corrupt. Delete the application with the PS4 and insert the disk again. Oh. Works on a test and not off race. It worked. He's just had a blue screen. He sent a picture on the Discord. Blue screen. Cannot connect to using this application. The data for the following application is corrupt. Delete the application from the PS4 and then insert the disk here. So it's basically telling him to delete and re-download.
Oh, great. That's a 2-day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, son.
Oh, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell. Right, I'm just going to go back straight live. Fuck that middle bit.
Okay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for tonight. It has been an absolute nightmare. The servers are not wanting to play ball. Nothing is wanting to do. Right, basically, rolling start. The lap race has been shortened to 19 laps for the race. The first lap is a rolling start. The grid order will be Jamie, Andy, Disco, Little Leech. P5 will be D Big. 6th will be Peaceful. Gary 7th, Emo 8th, 9th for Keegs, 10th for Body Boy. Sooty will start 11th, Monkey Boy 12th, and Welshie 13th. That is the order. They are to not. The leader is to not go until he gets to the racing line, so that everybody is out the hairpin and ready to go, so that the leader doesn't just bugger off the minute he gets round the hairpin and last place is still not round. They're going to wait to the hairpin before they go. If it does fail this time and we can't get it going, we will push the race back till next week and get it started for. Donington will be a week late, which will be next week instead of this week. Hopefully we are all ready to go. Hopefully this time around it will work. This has been just a poor evening, not through anybody's fault, bar the internet, the servers, and just, yeah, very annoying, Kelly.
Yep. Absolutely, and again, apologies to anybody listening. And this is the fun and games of running a league, and how we do what we do. Remember, we're all running on a game which is 4 years old in its creation, and multiple players up and down the country. So, these things do happen, and we do apologise, but it is beyond our control. And, tough decisions have to be made. Those decisions have been made. We had mass disconnection, which is in the rules. As if there's a mass disconnection, a restart will be put on, and we're doing the best we can. So hopefully,
right, we've lost Andy.
Go this time.
We've lost Andy. He got stuck in the setup menu, which hasn't allowed him to go, but not a mass. So Andy's not lined up for this first race. We hopefully can get him in for race 2. The problems are keep mounting up. We all go, so everybody behind Andy will be bumped up one place. The race is a go.
So Jamie, as you said, will be leading them out.
So the qualifying will be now that Andy has had to automatically disconnect because his game was stuck on one screen. It'll be Jamie from Disco, from Little Leach. Basically, everybody behind Andy, other than Jamie, gets promoted one spot. We've got 12 drivers in the race. No Dan, no Andy. What an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and still everybody wishing Little Leach a happy birthday. It's not his birthday till Sunday, is it?
Yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Watch the Grand Prix on his birthday.
I mean, I'm not being funny here, but looking at the track map, Jamie, back off. Let the pace catch up. The lads catch up to you. We tried to do a rolling start, and you've just gone. And the last place is 16 seconds behind here.
Yeah, he's eased up now by the looks of it. Disco gave him a bit of a nudge down in the old hairpin, which and as we go to the track where Vettel bumped into the back of Lewis this weekend for the race and for the Grand Prix. There was a little bit of that argy-bargy. Jamie needs to back him up still need to back him up more. Jamie,
you've got to get them right on you. 10 seconds is still the gap between the last car and yourself. You cannot go until the race line. So Jamie here has got to make sure that pack is on him. I mean, Little Leach maybe could get his foot down a little bit.
It'd be useful if Little Leach picked up the pace a little bit.
I mean, Jamie is only doing 40 mile an hour now. Yeah, even less than that. And here come the remainder of the pack. As the pack now have all sort of caught up. They're all there in a queue. Jamie cannot go until the line. It's only a short straight, so it's not too much disadvantage. Jamie cannot go until the line. And we're green now, so that we are away for this first race, which has taken an hour and a half to get started. Well, I say an hour and a half, take half an hour off. This race has taken an hour to get started here. Apologies tonight, people, but we are underway. Everybody's away cleanly, not the normal start we're used to seeing here at Simplay. A bit of a motive racing sort of rolling start, but Jamie leads from Disco. Gary and Little Leach are third and fourth. Gary getting a decent run then on that one. Andy was one of the drivers who was taking his double point score, but because of the game messing up,
Little Leach dropped it. Sorry, Matt, to jump over you. He's dropped it. He went trundling down the order.
Andy was going to take his double point score, but like he's just said in the chat, do you mind if I don't take it because of the game messing about? That is completely fine. I will allow that one tonight because of the fact that the game has messed everybody around. It's not your fault, this one, so I will allow that. Liam a bit squirrely in the background. Then D-Big's trying to chase down Gary, who is third at the minute. What a crazy night. I'm still really kind of annoyed and can't get myself into that commentary flow at the minute, Kelly.
No, absolutely, and I think we need to cut it loose now. We've done what we can, and we're here, and we're going forward. So Disco is on his debut, rookie to the pro. On his debut, it is all over the back of Jamie, and they've dropped Gary just a little bit at the moment, considering we're only technically on lap 1. With Gary with a bit of work to do. He's got D-Big's close company and Emo Guy in there as well. Emo Guy in the last remaining Janetta. See what he can do with that for the remainder of the next next few laps. Who else is, well, everyone else is scrubbing around for the last places. Little Leach had a bit of a tumble, so he's now in last, got loads to do. Birthday boy on Sunday, apparently.
Yeah.
So he's got lots to do to make it, to get cake. Sooty in the Cora, as we can see, running 8th at the moment, and see what he can do from there. So still at the front. Now these guys have dropped Gary by a couple of seconds, although it doesn't look that much of a gap, to be fair. But so 2.5 seconds back to Gary after excuse me, Jamie out in front. He's starting to get away from Disco a little bit now.
He started to get away from Disco a little bit, Kelly, you're right. Gary started to get away from D-Biggs in the background as well, so a little bit of a gap forming between the three of them here. Then a bit of a battle between D-Biggs and Emo Guy, it looks like, in the background. Heck of a battle for Keeg, Sooty and that Bozzy Boy for 7th, 8th and 9th here. Monkey Boy obviously not on the pace. Welshie's got Little Leach now over the back of him. Daniel Francis, boogity, let's stay connected, boys. Yeah, yes. Let's go racing, let's stay connected. This is the biggest... Oh, I mean, I've had some times when I've done motive commentary or when I've done commentary for Fun Race here and it's gone horribly wrong, but this has probably been the worst of them all. Little Leach looking for a cutback into the into Goddard's hairpin itself.
He's get it done.
Can he get that one?
He's got it done with that one.
Nice move.
Yeah, so his next target will be Monkey Boy. Let's see if he can get on the back of him reasonably quickly. Who else is in close company? Peaceful within a second of Emo Guy within a second of D-Biggs.
Yeah, good battle in the background, Kelly. Keeg, Sooty and that Bozzy Boy. Look at these three.
Yes there is, and Liam, I'm going to have a word with Liam. He said I was the what was he said last night, or what did he say was the most disappointing?
I think Liam's just dropped it. Liam has had a moment. Monkey Boy's got past. Here goes the Acora then, looking in Matt Neal's favourite place for an overtake, maybe up the inside of McLean's. And I'll tell you what, Matt Neal-esque Sooty Apex. He's done it up the inside.
Yes, absolutely, and I'll give respect for that one. Although he didn't nudge him to make the gap. But,
whoa!
But there you go.
I wouldn't put it past Matt Neal. I wouldn't put it past Sooty Apex. Let me tell you now, I wouldn't put it past the pair of them. But Sooty there. Typical Honda move, if you ask me. Matt Neal in the Honda,
nice
late on the brakes, up the inside of McLean's, and Sooty's just done what the legend does best, and that is to do the exact same thing. The Sooty send it, indeed. Liam's lost out to Little Leach as well as Monkey Boy, but he's still on the back of these two. Keeg's having a look back here at Sooty, coming up towards Goddard's hairpin for the... for the end of lap 5. We're already on lap 5 of
Sooty's in deep.
20. He is deep. Is that going to hurt him? Keeks just slams into him a little bit on the exit. Look at this, with nearly 5 here for this place of 7th. Sooty's got the inside line as they come down to Redgate. You normally cut that pit line just to give yourself a bit of a wider entry. Don't need to. Sooty manages then at Redgate in towards Hollywood.
Peaceful was good on him. He was good to him.
Yeah, Keeks, do you mean?
Sorry, Keegs. Keegs. Sorry, wrong car. Not even the right even make. But Keegs was good to him there. He was fair, so he didn't come across and try and take that place. Cut across him. So he gave Sooty the line on the inside on turn 1 there. So that's fair driving.
Out front,
a good race.
Up front, Kelly. Disco's within 4/10 of Big Boy Brazier now. So as much as there's a good battle for 7th between Sooty, Keegs, Little Leach, Monkey Boy and Bozzy Boy, these two are for the lead. I tell you what, Disco's throwing it through the fog at TS's there. But Disco, don't forget, on loan at Simplay Racing, part of the Ironbrew Racing roster, and is doing bits at the minute so far.
Yes,
battling
indeed.
team leader.
Yeah, he's doing what BMWs do best. Go sideways. Yes. I tell you what though, this BMW, it looks a solid car in the hands of Disco. It does.
Now, can I just say, if this stays this way, whether it's Disco first or Jamie first, these two are on the pad, so it's a pad 1-2 at the minute. Not just a German 1-2 either. It's a pad 1-2. As Disco McDisco Face is looking like he's catching. In fact, it's a German 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's the British car of the Ginetta in P5 before you get to another German car P6. It's a bit of a pattern forming here. Yeah. Where's that Japanese car? It's 7th. Oh no, wait, it's a Cora on this. It's American, isn't it? Oh, what a shame.
It's an American Japanese car.
It's an American Japanese car. You know the one.
I know the one.
Yeah.
I know the type.
Yeah. As here comes our Disco McDisco face. Well, she's dropped off the back a little bit in the background. Little Leach has got past Keegs then.
Yeah, Little Leach is, as we just go on to him, as he goes a bit deep, that's probably at the old hairpin by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, quite, he has done all this lot now, because he was dead last. So he's moving his way up through the pack. I think he's going to struggle a bit when he gets to Sooty. Sooty's going to be a bit more harder to overtake than the rest of these guys, with, no disrespect intended to anybody. But we'll see what sort of pace he's got when he gets there, if he gets there. Still Disco troubling the back of Jamie. Excuse me, we've all got the coughs tonight. Yeah, so Disco still on the back. Gary not making an impression on these two, Matt, at all.
No, he's getting nowhere near these two at the moment, and these two they're not really tripping over each other yet. You're looking at the pace, the top four are all lapping in the 28s, but Gary, in fact, Gary, a 29 for this. Gary must have had a bit of a sloppy lap that time, a second slower. Jamie! Oh, he's lost the rear! Coming through Redgate towards Hollywood, which is a flat-out right-hand corner. You don't really know he's there, just kind of forms into the crane of curves, but Jamie has dropped it on his own, and he's all the way down into 6th place now. Peaceful. Can he manage to get past him? The difference in speed through Redgate towards the Craners. I think Jamie is far enough in front that by the time Peaceful will catch him, he'll be hitting the brakes in towards the old hairpin, and that is exactly what happens. But Jamie Brazier there, what a shame, because he was looking good for a battle with Disco. Disco now on his pro debut. Oh, his Emo guy, is he on the grass as well? I think he is. He has. He's had a huge spin towards McLean's. So Jamie will get the place back. Peaceful gains another place as well. And Emo guy starting to struggle. Look out for the Acora in the background. There it is, and there's Little Leach on the back of Sooty as well. So Emo guy could have these two on the back of him in just a moment as well.
Yes, indeed. I said watch Little Leach. He's reeling Sooty in now and gaining on in leaps and bounds. Yeah, it looked like I only saw the end of Emo's spin, but it looks like he was probably trying to turn and brake at the same time as you got.
Sooty!
Sooty's lost it. Sooty's lost it. Oh no, he was going so well as well.
He was driving, he was driving good there, Dan. He was looking brilliant for value for his money in that Acora. Little Each up another place, and as is that Bozzy Boy and Keegs. Monkey Boys must have had a problem. He's dropped well off. He's with Chris down in P12. It's Daniel Francis DISCO. I'm sure you know what he's on about, being a radio DJ,
Ottawa.
don't you? Yeah.
Ottawa, 1980, if I'm right. Anybody who wants to Google it, go for it. Yeah. But it was definitely Ottawa Disco 1980.
Is it a regular that you put on?
No.
Enough said there.
No, I haven't played it since 1980. No, I wasn't DJing in 1980. Not long after. But no, it's not one that I play ever.
There we go then. I've just noticed something here then. The top four was all running in the 28s a minute ago. The top three are now running in the 1 minute 30s. So they've took the foot off the gas a little bit here, and while Disco's had a mistake, gone 2 seconds off his pace, Gary could have done a 128 and been sort of closer to the back of him, but he isn't. These top five all very spread out here. And then you're back to Emo guy who's just in front of Little Each. That Bozzy Boy's trying to catch Keegs with Sooty trying to catch the pair of them. There's not really anything happening out there in terms of much drama.
No, was it similar last night? Because this is kind of the race I had last night. You know what I mean? I didn't see much of anybody really. Apart from a few spinners. I didn't see much of anyone really. So was the pack quite well spread last night?
It seemed to start brilliantly, and then it just seemed to get a bit strung out. And Daniel Francis put in the Discord saying that it was a bit scruffy and a bit argy-bargy between the drivers. I thought, you know what? I thought it was one of the better Pro-Am races, if I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was more people just dropping it on themselves. It wasn't people just motoring through anybody. Into the pits comes Keegs. Yeah, it is lap 8 of the race technically. Pit window's gone out the window for this race pretty much for race 1, but hey ho, on we go sort of thing. So Keegs into the pits at the end of lap 8.
Nice to see Daft Punk here again. I thought they'd retired, but they seem to turn up every week with their Technotronic suits.
Let's see them form back up. Daft Punk, is that anything you played? Bit of Daft Punk on the DJ?
Yeah, Daft Punk. Yeah. Daft Punk will get played. Yeah,
bit of Michael Bublé.
Yes, actually, I like Bublé. Bublé's good. Yeah, the older crowd like Bublé.
Coming to your concerts, Monkey Boy must have had another problem somewhere, because that's him just going past the position. And Keegs is nearly a lap down, so Monkey Boy really struggling. I mean, hey, we know why Monkey Boy might be struggling. He's about to become a father again, so
that might be it. Yeah,
his
partners. He's worried about it. Concerned about it.
Well, his partner's about to go into labour. Apparently, I don't think he's allowed at the hospital until she's in labour, COVID and all.
How's he driving? How's he driving this then? He's doing it on his phone.
No, well, he's at home. He's at home at the minute. He's dropped it. He's at home at the minute. He's not allowed at the hospital until she goes into labour, apparently due to COVID reasons, or so I'm led to believe. So
look at Mr. Comeback.
He's on it. He's on a charge.
He is.
In fact, what's happened to Gary?
Well, what has happened to Gary?
Yeah, Gary's now 4th. Was 2nd.
Yeah.
1:37 last lap. So Gary's had a big bit of a spin somewhere.
Yep, and Daniel Francis doing a whole paragraph on Disco now. At least he may have got the bug after watching The Masked Dancer, mightn't he? He's been pulling some shapes now.
Daniel's in the living room, giving it the old, putting the DISCO on. That might have been the song that they was dancing to on The Masked Dancer, and he's busting a move in his front room watching the stream. Go on, Daniel, have a good go. Have a good go, pal. D Big
absolutely.
Is P2.
Sorry, mate. Just had that fact checked. It was Ottawa, and it was 1980.
You're too good, Kelly.
Some boy.
You're too good. You've got the radio stats. I've got the stats for these boys on the track. We're just two. What a commentary team. What a duo,
mate. The best one anywhere.
Yeah.
Sweet and sticky.
Sweet and sticky in your box every Thursday and Sunday again, because the touring car starts this Sunday. So we'll be back.
Yeah, that's a brilliant link. That is. We're the best commentary team are back on the airwaves on Sunday night over on Motive for the new season of Touring Car, and I believe it's the European track.
calendars. Monaco is in there
Sunday night, 7 o'clock. We'll be there.
8 o'clock.
Well, we'll be there at 8, but
yeah, starts at 7.
You know what it's like. They do the lesser commentary team do do like practices,
the pre-show warm up, and then
races.
Yeah,
and then the main event is us.
Yeah, so, it's sweet and sticky.
Yeah,
which
headlining.
Is that's what we do.
Yeah, we headline.
Yeah. Like being at Glastonbury. There's a few people coming into the pits. And Sooty Apex is in the pits. Keegs has pitted. So has Monkey Boy. So Sooty Apex missed his pit box.
Missed his pit box.
Oh.
Happy day. I tell you what, Matt. I had the most epic pit stop.
And he's got a time penalty for his troubles in the pit. Sooty Apex has had an absolute mare. Welshie up into 10th. That Bozzy Boy, Welshie's up to 8th. That Bozzy Boy is now in 8th with Little Each 7th. Jamie gaining on the back of Big Boy Brazier here. That pace has come back to the front runners. No one is in the 30s bar. Liam, Welshie, Sooty, Keegs and Monkey Boy. They're all now in the 28s, 29s. Jamie, quickest man on track last time out by some second quicker than D Biggs. Oh, bit of lag there for Jamie. Now, I don't know if that's the server or if that's just Jamie himself he lags that much.
I think that was, that might have been a bit of both. That it looks like a little bit of a slide and a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
I was just saying before we got excited there that I had the most epic of pit stops. The most epic of pit stops yesterday, Matt. Race 1, it was quicker than Formula 1. It really was. I think that gave me about 2 places last night. I pulled up at the box and then they released me almost immediately. Second and a half tops. Never seen it happen. Yeah, it was brilliant.
There you go. You must have employed Team Prolapse must have employed the uses of the Red Bull pit crew for that race. Gary, D Biggs, Peaceful, all in the pits. D Biggs isn't. He's out. He's gone. Peaceful's still in the pit lane though, and that is Monkey Boy unlapping himself. I do believe there. That Bozzy Boy is now 6th place. When will he come into the pits? Gary on his way out. Peaceful's on his way out. Gary's been jumped by Peaceful. Gary's still in the pits. What is happening to Gary? Long pit stop now. In the lap he made a mistake. Did he have damage to his car? Because that is a long old pit stop and has lost out on another couple of places here to Peaceful. That is his podium chances in this first race gone. We're going to skip the interviews tonight. We're just going to crack straight on with the second race. There's going to be no interviews tonight, unfortunately. For those who enjoy the interviews, we're not going to do any because we're already running as late as it is, so we're just going to crack on here at Simplay. Come on, D Biggs, need the points for us, says Dan in the chat. Had a text off for Dan. His disc will not re-download. Apparently the disc has gone corrupt or something. I don't know how that's happened. He's had to spend £50 to re-download it off the PlayStation Store, so he did have it on disc. It's cost him 50 quid to re-download it. Obviously running a lot of events. Disco into the pits at the end of lap 12. Yeah, that is a lot of money.
honestly, at least Dick Turpin wore a mask, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shake and Bake Motorsport, he says in the chat. Hopefully, if he can get it downloaded for race 2, with how long it's taken us to get this one done, he might be able to get in for race 2. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's a long download, isn't it? It's a big download.
Yeah, well, see how good his internet is. See how good the.
For that, I think, yeah.
Well, yeah. We can only hope and pray that he can get in and score some good points. Because he'd be able to qualify as well as Andy will be able to qualify for race 2. And at the minute, we had 13 starters, meaning only the top 6 do not qualify for the next race. That Bozzy boy, P6 at the moment, yet to pit though. What can he do? Peaceful Explosion is the car behind him, but we're currently watching Little Each gain on Emo Guy. Jamie's yet to pit as well. Lap 13 of 20. And it's really been strung out again, hasn't it? It's really been another night like last night, where it's just kind of been a few good battles early on, and then everybody's just kind of, you know. Yeah.
I'll tell you the other insight that we found last night was high on engine wear. This one. Certainly, again, you know, me and Nicky both running the Porsches, obviously Team Pro Laps. Where are Pro Laps tonight? Yeah, where are they? Where's your support? Come on,
Where
boys.
is your support?
Both high engine wear, and I think BT was struggling with it as well. Like, you know, so yeah.
The thing is, Kelly, this is the first race of summer, so maybe that's got to open those ducts, and the engine. The radiator opening, as well as Emo Guy comes in for his pit stop at the end of lap 13 of this race. So Emo into the pits. Little Leach, Jamie, Welshie, that Bozzy boy yet to pit. And don't forget the teammates cannot pit on the same lap, so when will these guys be pitting? When will Jamie and Liam be pitting? That's the question. As a few cars have unlapped themselves from Emo Guy. That Bozzy boy goes through into P5 now. He'll have a nosebleed, he's that high at the moment. D Biggs has got...
disappointed with him myself.
Yeah, I mean, I would be. Hey, don't forget, me, you, and him are all at Silverstone, so.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to chuck him on. Yeah. I'm going to chuck him on track right in front of Lewis Hamilton.
Daniel Francis. Meanwhile, Project Cars 3 is only £20. Yeah, but Project Cars 3 is crap.
Sucks.
Unorthodox. Donington Park sucks. Yeah.
No, you'll be alright when you're there.
You'll be alright when you get to meet all us, Daniel. You'll be fine, because we'll be able to sit on the hill, and as the cars go past, we'll be able to be like. You know, having a drink, having a drink, pushing Liam down the hill, pushing Liam about, it'll be fun. Yeah. While that Bozzy boy at the minute is on the back of Monkey Boy, this is to put a lap on Monkey Boy, so Monkey Boy's struggling tonight, whereas Liam going good guns at the minute. There's a lapped car off here. Now, that's Keegs. Oh, Keegs is struggling to turn around. Jamie's in the pits, end of lap 14, sorry. That's Keegs who's had a problem at the hairpin then. Monkey Boy has got himself past. Keegs is away now. Jamie in and out the pits. His teammate...
Is that a quick stop? Or?
I assume so. His teammate can pit. Disco Face has got past. Where's D Biggs? That was the big one. D Biggs was battling. Disco! He's dropped it!
This could change the face of things. That's a recoverable one. It won't be that bad, but it's bad enough.
Well, Jamie's jumped...
Jamie a sight of him.
Jamie's jumped D Biggs through the pit stops. D Biggs was in front before the pit stops, so Big Boy Brazy has got in front of D Biggs, and Disco just dropping it here, making this race a little bit interesting. You were saying last night, in fact, a lot of the lads were saying last night, Kelly, you've said yourself that tyre wear was an issue the more this race went on. I wonder if this is a problem for the likes of Disco there. Maybe his tyres are just starting to go off a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And again, nobody running the BMW last night, so I don't think we get much feedback. But certainly the Merc guys, the ones that were in my party, being BT and Xmart, were definitely moaning about how the tyres were going off. The Porsche, I mean, mine wasn't too bad. I run softs all the way through both races, and the tyres, towards the end were getting a bit tardy. I find with the Porsche, or with most cars, once you get them in the window, you need to keep it there as long as possible, because the Porsche gets quite squirrely when you cool the tyres off in the pits or whatever. So maybe that's the case, but with a bit of luck we'll be game on here for the last 5 laps, because
hopefully
Jamie can now see Disco, and D Biggs can see Jamie, and and they've all got a target to work to. So we'll see.
Both Jamie and Disco have both lost it coming through turn 1. So let's see if they can manage to keep it going. That's Bozzy Boy in the background. He's diving into the pits. The only man who hasn't pitted, end of lap 15, so he's coming in early. I reckon he's going to come out just ahead of Sutty, or around Sutty Apex, depending on how quick his stop is. Liam not having a bad race tonight. I know he says he's felt like he struggled a little bit this week. He is struggling a bit this season with the Audi, but he's hopefully going to start to come to get to grips with it. Sutty's only at the Melbourne hairpin. Liam's leaving the pit, so Liam has done Sutty by quite the margin here. Sutty's only just coming into Goddard's as Liam out the pit lane and is gone.
That would have helped if Sutty had missed his pit box, of course. You know, did a bit of, I believe Jenson Button did that, or drove. I think Jenson Button drove through the wrong one, to be fair.
No, that was Lewis. Lewis did that when he went to Mercedes.
I'm sure.
I don't remember.
Sure Jenson done it. I think Jenson did it earlier in his career as well. Anyway,
that's probably why I was probably a bit too young to remember that one.
Yeah,
I know Lewis did it the first season. He went to Mercedes. He pulled into the McLaren pit box and was like, "Oh, not meant to be here."
Up and down,
straight through.
Yeah.
Did Vettel do it the other week for Aston Martin?
He might well have done, actually.
In a practice session,
a few guys
I think.
who've done it.
Yeah.
They don't have big arrows on their pit boxes, do they?
No, and they don't have Daft Punk there. Some of their guys actually wear proper overalls that's the same colour as another team. Yeah, and actually do things on the car. Little Each, the only man who's not been in the pits, currently leads this race 6 seconds ahead of Disco. McDisco face then, as Emo Guy is in P5. Net P4, we reckon, but he's 19 seconds behind Little Each. How long for a pit stop? That's Welshie.
Who's that, Welshie?
Welshie's recovering there after a spin. Lap down, was actually quite close to gaining on Sutty with that 10-second penalty Sutty had, but he's not no more. He's had a big off somewhere and has dropped it. He's still P10, so a good result for Welshie at the moment. This will be.
I thought he was coming out the wrong way out of the pits at first.
He pitted not long ago, so Welshie here not being able to do a lot. Gary, well, we've not seen the best from Gary tonight. He's currently 6 seconds off the back of Peaceful. And he's so far he's going to need to catch Peaceful. Yeah. Peaceful just coming up towards McLean's. Gary coming through the old hairpin. Loves this track, does Gary, but we're not seeing the best of him at the moment.
Do you know, a lot of people that I've chatted to through the week, and of course we're all, we've got whatever, normally 14, 15, 16 guys on here and just as many on Pro-Am, so you get to chat to people in a week. And the consensus is from a lot of people that they love the track to watch, but aren't so keen on it to drive.
You see, I love it to drive. I think it's a brilliant little circuit. It's one of my favourites in real life, alongside Circuit Gilles Villeneuve and Interlagos. Because Gary! He's caught that.
Very well recovered.
This is my favourite British track. It's up there in the top 3 with them 2 I've just named. To drive, I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with spectating and totally agree with your other choices. Interlagos is epic, absolutely
superb
epic
circuit.
Track. And what was the other one you said?
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the Canadian Grand Prix.
Canada. Yeah, Canada, absolutely fantastic track.
Lovely.
Love that bit.
Yeah.
Spa-Francorchamps on my list as well. I was in the background. Monkey's dropped it, and he
lost the rear. Where's
goes.
Keegs? Keegs is a good 20 odd seconds behind, but Monkey could have a bit of damage that's going to hurt him. I tell you what, Liam.
No, he's not going to go in the pits. No.
Liam here is not that far behind Gary. He's only when the timing screen wants to sort itself out. He's 11 seconds off the back. If Gary keeps having a couple more of them slides, Liam could be looking a bit pretty. Look out, Sutty's absolutely done the same lap as Gary last time around. Gary will be pushing hard, 4 seconds to Peaceful. Gary will get to qualify at this rate for the first qualifying. For the second qualifying of the night. Gary will get to qualify. Misses a race in 2 weeks' time as he's away on holiday at Zhuhai, I do believe. So he misses. Oh, Gary, get off the grass. He's on. Well, he's not on holiday at Zhuhai. I hope he's not, because it's thunderstorms, Gary, the forecast is. But Gary there, just touching the grass and getting all over it. Little Each now comes into the pits at the end of lap 17. So we are on. No, at the end of lap 18, so we're on the lap 18 of 20, apologies. So Little Each, where's he going to come out? Has he done enough to get ahead of D Biggs? I don't think so. He's coming out now. So good stops from the boys tonight. Some real hustle in the pits tonight. D-Biggs into 4th. Emo Guy coming down the pit lane. You hear that tumble dryer Janetta-esque car it's on its spin cycle with the sounds of it. He goes up into P4 then, so Little Each P5 ahead of Peaceful now. Does he sort of back into Peaceful for these last 2 laps, help his brother and teammate out, or is it, you know what, fancy these points, fancy a P5, fancy a run at Emo guy, seeing as I'm only 2 seconds behind him?
Yeah, I think either way, always as Little Leach was doing the same as his brother there, and a bit sideways through the old hairpin. I think holding station, he's a couple back from Emo Guy and 5 or 6 in front of Peaceful and Gary be another 4 back. And we're on lap 19. It's all a bit pointless now, isn't it? Got to say, good recovery from Little Leach. He was dead last.
Had a spin, didn't he? Yeah, had a spin earlier in the race, so it is a great recovery drive from him to come from dead last to going longer in his stint.
Who was, his brother was
second
for the lead at the beginning.
Was second at one stage, wasn't he? And Gary's just not, although his lap times have looked good, he's just not looked on the pace. This man, though, take nothing away from him. He's about to start the last lap of this race. He's about to lap his teammate who's just up the road from him. Disco McDisco Face here is on for his debut pro race. Don't forget, he made his debut at Simplay 2 weeks ago at Daytona in the race 2 there, and got only managed to come away with 5 points for himself. He's only actually scored 10 points in the Pro-Am. He doesn't carry them points to the Pro. He starts on 0, but he's looking like he's going to take his first ever race win here. What a shame not to get the debut win in the Pro. What a shame to not get him in for an interview, but we're just running that tight for time tonight. We just can't do it. It is a shame. But you know, it's one of them things. Disco McDisco Face here, though, really is on the pace and is really looking like he's going to get this race win. Just looking at the gaps, Little Leach not really closing in on Emo Guy. Gary's now within a couple of Peaceful, so we'll flick through the. Keegs had another problem, or is he just a bit slow? Is he letting his teammate put the lap on him? The flash of the lights there. This will be the first point of the season for Keegs and the team since the change of car and since the appointment of Disco McDisco Face. But it does look like it's going to be a P1 on his debut for the Disco man. Jamie, 3 seconds behind, has not gained on him this lap at all. Just looking at M times, Little Leach just falling off the back of Emo a little bit, and Gary gaining on the back of Peaceful. We will cut to them as we go through this order. Disco then rounding Goddard's for the final time. It looks like it's going to be a race win on his pro debut. What a start to his season it's going to be. Keegs a bit twitchy there. Disco McDisco Face takes the win. Jamie Brazier looks like he's going to get P2. Keegs will cross the line for 12th place. Points on the board for Keegs nonetheless. Here then comes D Biggs. No points for Nam, but D Biggs looks like he's going to score points for P3. Another podium for this man. He was on it at the minute. Emo Guy, a solid 4th place. Little Leach, good recovery for a P5. Now back to the Peaceful Gary battle. Who's going to take this? Peaceful very wide at Goddard's, and is Gary going to sniff an opportunity at the final part of the track? He's right behind him. He's going to pull out now. He's not got the legs on him. No. Peaceful's going to take P6. Gary then will cross the line for 7th place. Gary will be able to qualify in this race. That Bozzy boy, massive shout out to him. A P8, he will absolutely be taking that one all day long. I'm sure he didn't expect that.
No, absolutely, and well done, Liam. I can't say you were disappointing because you weren't, but yeah, I'll find you. Don't you worry.
Welshie in P10, he's crossed the line. Monkey Boy P11, he's about to cross the line there. And Such Apex P9 in an Acura that looked good until he made a couple of errors by himself, really, in that one. Fastest lap of the race, 28 dead for Jamie, 27.9 for Gary. So that shows you how quick Gary was in the race, 27.9. Gary then the fastest race pace there. He will pick up an extra point for fastest lap. So the top 6 can't qualify. That will be Disco, Jamie, D-Biggs, Emo, Little Leach, Peaceful. We'll be right back in 2 seconds with the second race. Will you be alright to just do quali? Because I'm just going to start it straight away while I run to the toilet.
Yeah, mate, do it.
Yeah, because I'm boss. Yep. I don't know if you need toilet. If you want to go to toilet, you get yourself gone now, mate.
Well, no, I'll just pee on the floor.
Sweet. Yeah, sweet.
No, I'm good, mate.
2. So that's 4, 3 o'clock. Light cloud into clear. Mandatory pit stop on yes. Real time. Put that back up to 22 laps. Qualifying on for 2 o'clock, not 24 hour, just 10 minutes. Time progression on, light cloud, save, go. And go. Right. I shall restart the stream, and then I'll let you do the introductions. I'll tell you when we're live, and then I'm just going to run to the toilet while you're just chipping away.
Yeah. We're not in a new game, are we? No, same one, same lobby, yeah. No
ready up, because it's not letting me start it without everybody else readying up, apparently. So, if you just hit the ready button at the bottom.
Start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
Why is it? Yeah, we have all got to do it, I reckon. Come on, we need like more than half the grid to vote to start here before it will start counting down. Fucking hopefully.
There's a few more.
And is disconnected. Not quite sure why. Let's get him back in. He's restarting game, I reckon. Why is it not going here? Pretty much everybody's voted and it's not going. Are you taking...
What is that all about?
I don't get... Right, do you know what? Fucking... What are you gonna do? Set another lobby up? Yep, just quickly set another one up. Everything's all the same, so let's go. Oh my god, this is so annoying tonight. Wow.
God, I'm glad I only changed the cameras and talk.
Monkey Boy, Peaceful, Welshie, in. Oh, this is where I fucking need everybody to fucking appear online. But they're not going to, are they? They're going to all appear offline. Fuck's sake. So Andy, Jamie, Cam, Daniel Francis, Deeks, Dean, Disco, Emo's on, Gary, Keegs, Little Leech, Monkey Boy I've got in, Sooty, Liam, Welshie, go. Send invite. Kelly's there. Oh, this has been so annoying. So should be 15 drive, not 15. Should be 15 of us in the session, I think. With no Dan, no Joe, no Liam. Guys, just get yourselves in the session there. Andy, Jamie's in into yeah. D Big's in, yeah. Disco in, yeah. Emo in, no. Yeah, no. Emo's in. Gary in, yeah. Keegs in, no. Little Leech, invite him. Monkey Boy, yep. Peaceful, yep. Sooty, yep. Little Leech has just come in. That Bozzy Boy. Welshie. Right, I've just sent him all another invite. Oh well. Right, where's Liam and fucking Keegs and the others that I've just invited? So how many do we need? Just Liam and Keegs. Just Liam and Keegs. Where are you?
Come on, boys. You can do it.
Just get in the fucking session now. This is really starting to frustrate me now.
Yeah, it'll be one of those nights you'll want to forget.
Oh, like you will not believe. You keep sending me an invite, but I'm in the session.
It's saying there's no quality set up.
Who's saying that?
Evil Scotsman saying, Matt, there's no quality set up, and Andy saying
that's just because I've had to do the thingy.
Right. So there is a quali.
Yeah, there is a quali. Done.
Right.
Ready to go. Liam, Keegs, get your fucking sense in now. Because I'm going to start without you. Who's just joined? Liam. Where's Keegs? Right. I'm just going. I'm starting. I'm not waiting for him. He can qualify,
Okay.
but I'm not fucking about tonight. It's been too much of a bullshit night.
It all started with Emo not turning up. It was all running smooth till then.
Him not having the invite and me having to back out has sort of glitched everything out, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been bullshit. So Gary leads the title again because of his double points. Dan's now second, only 12 behind. I mean, Gary still misses a week. Arguably, Dan will get more points back with the thingy. Right.
Yeah.
Because he'll get his drop score back. Right, going live.
Okay. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Donington Park here for the second race, round 8 of the Simplay Motorsport GT3 Championship. And we're watching Gary 131 getting out there pretty early. It's only a 10-minute qualifying session, so they have to get on with it. Our apologies this evening. We've had some horrendous internet problems, and yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. And I think Matt's just gone off to have a little cry in the corner. Bless him, he's been trying to sort it out all night. But we're here, and we're under qualifying, so we'll try and do the very best that we can. You're watching Gary, championship leader, is out on track at the moment, and 10-minute qualifying session. Only the top, I want to say 6 who can qualify. The top 6 from the race, cannot qualify. So the bottom 6 will be able to qualify, and that being the rules here at Simplay, it's the reverse grid system. So great, all good. Oh dear, it's been quite the night this evening. So we're looking forward to a good second race here tonight. Sooty Apex had a bit of a nightmare in race 1, got a bit of a penalty, missed his pit box. Generally not the kind of race he was looking for. We have got Andy back in though, which is good news. Unfortunately, Dan hasn't been able to get back in. His game went drastically wrong and cost him 50 quid to re-download it and all the rest of it. So his PlayStation's probably working overtime to get his game loaded back in. But we have got Andy back in, which is good news, because I want to see how he gets on with that Ginetta this evening. His teammate Emo Guy had a good run in the first race, had a solid run. So we'll see how Gary gets on with it, because he was quick. One of the only men in the 126s, sevens even. So yeah, in the 127s earlier. No, it was the 126s. He got in the 126s.
Oh, Andy, sorry, yeah.
As he had a bit of a spin there, that kind of ruined his preparation for his flying lap. So at the moment, no one's put a flying lap in. That's because they're out on their out laps at the moment, and Andy seems to be just sitting there now.
Yeah, just looking at my phone. This man, Kelly, before Gary's just actually gone and posted his first sector time, was actually the quickest through sector 1, as we've only got 7 minutes left to qualify. We've still not got Keegs in the session, so we may be Keegsless. Just looking at the chat, a lot of congratulations going in for Disco. We've had to redo another server because it wouldn't let us start, wouldn't let us ready it up. Disco apologises, Jamie, for the little tap on the warm-up lap.
Yeah, little Vettel tap.
Bad luck with the spin, he said as well. Tyre pressure's all wrong from Jamie. He said... JR, good luck. It says JR Sim Racing, nice to see you here. JR, yeah, just... tonight's been really frustrating for myself. Would you like to hear the current standings after the round 7?
Yes, give us some news. As Liam goes fastest on a 130.3.
Well, there we go. Go on, Liam, give it some. He's qualified well in the second qualifying. I'll get to that in a moment. Gary takes the lead of the championship with his double points tonight. Dan obviously will take his drop score tonight of 0, so Dan will score some points back, but that'll all be calculated at the end of the evening. It'll be posted on the tables, not from what I say this evening. So Gary leads the way by 12 points from Dan. Big Boy Brazy is now up into third ahead of D Biggs. They're close, only 2 points separate him. Little Each still in P5. Emo Guy is 6th. P4 goes up to 7 ahead of his teammate Monkey Boy. Andy, just say as well, Emo Guy is the other guy on double points. Andy was going to take his double points, but due to tonight's sessions and it bugging him out of race 1, he's decided to not, which I've, normally I wouldn't allow, but I've said, you know what, fine, because it can't be helped at times. It wasn't his fault. He is then just behind Monkey Boy. Bozzy Boy taking his double points, tied with Andy then. So what can he do in this second race? Phil then down at the order in 11th place. Rabbit Joe is 12th. Disco McDisco-Face after his first race win is 13th. Sooty Apex is now 14th with Welshie 15th. Keeg's 16th place and last at the moment. Constructors is Shake and Bake ahead of Elite Legends by 2 points. Ironborough Racing 52 points back in 3rd. GQ Motorsport then 4th. Class 97, Run Flat Racing, Straight Line Racing and Simplay Racing as well. They are your standings. Going back to what I was saying about that Bozzy Boy who's just put another lap in and has gone 3rd, as we're on board Monkey Boy, that Bozzy Boy in qualifying 2, average qualifying is 4th. He's gone from 5th, 4th to 3rd. So every week he's improved by 1 place. Is this the week we could see that Bozzy Boy on the front row? I don't think he's going to match the pace of Gary and Andy, but is a 3rd place what he's capable of here?
We'll certainly see. He's got to find it just a little bit more to get up to where Sooty is. I mean, I would love to see Liam on the front row. I think that would be fantastic, but I don't think he's got it in the car tonight. Not with the kind of pace that Gary's just put in and that we're expecting to see from Andy. But hey, I've said it many times, and I'm going to say it again. The sun shines on a dog's arse some days.
It does indeed. Here's another stat for you then. Peaceful has the best average qualifying of 3rd in this second qualifying format. He can't qualify today. The second best average qualifying is Liam with that P4 average qualifying. So he's 4th at the minute. That'll keep his average at 4th. I mean, that's not bad going, is it, for Liam? I mean, he's in the pit, so he needs to get back out on track as Monkey Boy is in the 129s and he's improving again. He's quicker on this lap. Liam needs to get out the pits. If he's going to get 1, maybe 2 more laps in, hopefully he does. He's out the pits now, so he's going to get them laps in. Andy's still not yet set a time.
No.
And isn't really doing anything on the timing screens on my phone here. It's registered as 9th when he's clearly not. He's P3, so the timing screen on my phone is even bugged. It's just all a mess.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. I was just going back to Liam, and as I say, his pace is getting better and better. And it's after he was quite so rude to me last night that I'm saying all these nice things about him. But to be fair, it's quite a jump. The quality and the pace from Pro-Am to Pro is quite a jump. Do you know what I mean? And you have to step up, and improve your times a couple of seconds a lap. Really, I think is a normal kind of deficit. Is a couple of seconds, and you go out and try and find a couple of seconds. It just doesn't just happen. So it takes time, doesn't it?
Everything takes time, as Andy is purple, sector 1, sector 2. So the timing screen's starting to play ball a bit now. What can he do as he crosses the line? Purple normally means he's going to go P1. And he does. And he does. Indeed. Welshie and that Bozzy Boy, green through sectors 1 and 2. So where are they coming around the track? Where's Welshie? Not seen much of Welshie tonight. I think he's not yet finished a lap. Can we get Welshie? Here he is, coming around the last hairpin now. Goddard's, Gary as well, blue and blue. Liam improves, but he's down in P5, not much on his time. Welshie improves 0.8 of a second as well. Sooty's gone ahead of Monkey Boy in P3. I'm not sure who that is in the background. That might be Gary in the background, coming through the final sector. Welshie's struggling tonight. Obviously, I think he might be on the wheel. I know he's sort of changing between the two. Gary, no improvement there. So what can he do? Andy, green in sector 1 again. So personal best through there, as was Monkey Boy. So Andy at the minute, as is Liam. So the conditions really starting to improve on these last couple of runs.
Yes, indeed. And as we jump on with Liam in the posh Volkswagen, or an Audi as they like to call them. And how are the other Volkswagens getting on? Well, the 1960s Beetle is is doing quite well in the hands of Gary on this one. So we'll see if he can go quicker. He's
quickest through
4 tenths.
Sector 1. Purple in Sector 1, in fact, is Gary. Sutty's in the pit, so he's done for qualifying. That could be his time done at P3. Not bad for the Acura, nearly on the front row of the grid. But Gary, coming up to the Fogarty S's, about to break the Sector 2 timing screen. He's got Welshie and Liam about to cross line. Andy has gone into the pit, so Andy's done as well. Gary flying at the minute.
Half a second.
Welshie and Liam on quicker lap times as well. Andy's pulled it into the pits. Welshie will cross the line first out of... No, Liam will cross the line first out of these three. Can Liam find that little bit of time he needs to go up a place? He's found 6 tenths. He's just 2 tenths off a Monkey Boy. He'll get one more run at it. What can Welshie find on this last lap? Gary a bit slidey out the final corner. There's Welshie in front. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. Gary, pole position. So Andy and Sutty. Monkey Boy's gone to the pits as well. Gary, that's the quickest time I've seen. I've seen 28.68s from both Andy and Dan, but that's the quickest time I've seen. Gary flying on pole at the minute.
Gary.
Yeah, nice of you to turn up. Liam then, let's keep an eye on Liam. He'll be the first to finish here. Gary, bit slidey there. Liam, he's gone back to the pits. Gary as well has gone back to the pits. Welshie then, the only man on track. He needs to get 6 seconds to improve. So it looks like Gary's going to get pole. Andy will take second with the looks of things. Sutty looks like he's going to take third. Welshie's not even on a green sector through Sector 1, so he's not even on a personal best time at the minute. Monkey Boy looks like he's going to get 4th place with that Bozzy Boy 5th. Welshie looks like he's going to take 6th here. So that Bozzy Boy just qualifying 5th, just knocks his average qualifying for race 2, for quality. No, it keeps it P4 actually for race 2 on average, which isn't bad, I suppose, is it? It's not bad for the guy.
No.
Gary's 3rd pole of the season. 3rd pole position for Gary. Most pole positions in the pro category. Welshie again not up through Sector 2. What a lap from Gary that was. What a lap. Put it together beautifully. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. As I said, welcome along, Gary. Where have you been all evening?
What we expecting race 2 then, Kelly? What are we expecting? Welshie pits.
I don't know. I really don't. What can you say? Gary's got pace, real pace.
Yeah.
Andy wasn't in race 1, and I thought he was, was going to be quick in race 1, but he wasn't there. It's hard to say, isn't it? Let's see how the guys fare through some of the guys towards the back. Let's see how they come forward. But anything can happen in the first couple of corners, and normally does. So
yeah, anything can happen. So it's Gary from Andy.
You want to add to that?
No, not really. It's Gary from Andy, Sutty, Monkey Boy, that Bozzy Boy, Welshie, Little Each, Disco, Disco Face, Peaceful Explosion, Emo Guy, Big Boy Brazier, and D Biggs. Now, remember, if Peaceful, Little Each, and Welshie all start this race, this is their 50th start of the season. So what a time for them. As for some reason, it's not giving me Disco Face's race win on the thing, so I've probably done something wrong there. I will double check that. He has got a win. I'll sort that out on my stats page after. Did he add his appearance? Yes, it added his appearance. He just didn't add his race win for some unknown reason. But oh well. In fact, I can quickly sort that now. So equals. Hang on.
All good?
Yeah, I will be in a minute.
Yeah.
Equals, and then you go to this little tab, and you press P1. And you press enter, and that should give him his first race win, and it does, and he now goes in the bracket with yourself, Kelly, with a race win.
Excellent. That's a lovely place to be. It's an exclusive club. Well, not that exclusive.
No, I mean, it's that exclusive that D Biggs, Phil, Rabbit, Joe Stove, Sloth, Aidan Bennett, KLF, Dean Wasaki, X Martin, Disco Face, and BT Targa are in there. I've got to sort BT Targas out. I'll do that one after this one. We are waiting for these drivers to ready up then here, guys. Exotic Trevor, laughing emoji in the chat. It's been like that all night, Trevor. If you've not been here all night, if you have been, thank you for staying with us. For the 14 people watching, if you've been here all night, seriously, thank you for staying tuned, because this has been a nightmare of a night.
Show.
All 12 drivers still on the grid then, Kelly, so 3 drivers are going to make their 50th appearance. Little Each, Welshie and Peaceful Explosion. We are green at Donington Park, and what a start by Andy. It looks like he's got off the line brilliantly. Can he get up to pace? Sutty a bit bogged down. Look at Liam in the background trying to challenge Sutty. Andy then just didn't have the legs on Gary as they head towards turn 1. Gary though, very wide. Wow.
Gary, what was that about?
He was under no pressure there, and he's messed that up himself. He's fed back in right at the back of the pack. Welcome to Verbal Excel with Matthew Duffin. Google Docs, actually, not Excel, but whatever. Daniel, Google Docs. I don't have Microsoft Excel. Andy Leeds.
You can't afford that.
No, I can't afford that one. Andy Leeds, it's a Ginetta 1, it's an Acora P2. That bossy boy currently sat on the podium, but he's got 22 laps. Pit window is lap 8, let's not forget. And Liam here, trying to get on the back of the Acora of Sooty Apex early doors. I think there was a car off, there is a car off, and it's Monkey Boy who's off. P12, back of the grid. For Monkey Boy, not what he'd have wanted there. Look at all these Welshie coming across, he's onto the grass as well.
Jamie's well down.
Wow!
Emo, who's that emo guy going off?
I think he's had
damage.
Jamie got a wobble there, seemed to like twitch a bit. I think he's clipped emo guys. He's twitched. Very interesting.
Well, we'll have to, yes, indeed. I'm going to try and pick that one up on the stream as I'm watching this. So yeah, Andy out in front, and 2 seconds over Liam, who's under pressure. Sooty's going to put one over on him on that hairpin.
Nah, Liam's still pressuring Sooty.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the stream, and you could be right. I think Jamie did have a bit of a wiggle. It's not totally clear, but they were in very close company.
Liam then into turn 1. Little each following in close quarters, coming down towards the crane of curves. Andy has gone at the moment. Liam then right on the back of Sooty, but taking Little Each and Disco McDisco face with him. Gary's progress is back up to 7th on the back of this little train with D Biggs in front of him and Jamie just behind him then. Emo down to P12 already, not what he'd have wanted. Andy's checked out up front. So far the Acora, it seems to be doing well until it gets to the back part of the circuit. That's where the straights seem to be. This half of the track he seems fine. The minute Sooty gets round Coppice Corner, which is now, he seems to struggle. Liam, top of the hill, just clipping the curve.
Straight.
Onto the Simplay straight, yes, forgot about that one. There's been that much happening tonight. I forgot what the corners are called, or the straights. But this is where Sooty seems to lose his time. But Liam didn't have the best run through Coppice, so Sooty has a bit of a break then. At the minute, Little Each! Wow, that's a manoeuvre! How has he got that stopped? D Biggs has got Liam, I think, as well, and Gary.
And Gary, yes.
Well, Liam has been hung out to dry, and Gary. What is on these Leachy Legends? What have these Leachy Legends got as brakes here? They are coming from miles back.
Absolutely, we're going to have a Leachy send it, aren't we?
The Leachy lunge.
The Leachy lunge, love it. That'll do.
Oh, I say that.
Although Gary goes deep, D Biggs he's going to go back at him, runs him out wide. That's what I would have done.
Liam, since the Fogatiestas, he's lost out to Disco McDisco face as well. Sorry, Kelly.
Liam having a bit of a shocker now, mind you. Got some very capable people behind him. He's
probably got some brown pants. I'm not going to lie, from the lunge from Little Each.
Absolutely, yeah. That was Porsche's going great guns at the moment, so Little Each bringing it up to 3rd place, and a great recovery drive from Gary at the moment after a shocking first corner.
Did the hard part, keeping it in front of Andy off the line, and then just went backwards as he just rolled wide. And he wasn't under any pressure from Andy either. It was a strange mistake to see the Pro Champ make. Meanwhile, though, Little Each, who considered double points tonight, has got a 5th to his name. Didn't take his double points in the end. He's running on the podium at the minute, and he's hunting the back of that Acora down. And Sooty already going defensive towards the Fogatiestas, mate. You've got to watch out, because that Little Each car will outbrake you and try and get you done coming into this chicane. Sooty very, very cautious through the chicane, and Little Each really hassling the back of that car. Where's is there in the background? Look, Liam's dropped to P11. What's happened to Liam? Wow, poor lap.
Yeah, he had such a great start. It's all just it's all turned to mush now, and he's going backwards. Little Each got to be a contender for driver of the day, hasn't he?
Gary sideways.
Gary's going to drop it.
I think he has, I think he has dropped it. He's wiggled and come back on just behind Disco McDisco face, but Gary is sliding all over the place. And yeah, you're right, Little Each for driver of the day is possibly one of my favourites here. Little Each, so he's up to 2nd, and the way that Porsche is looking in is... Disco's dropped it!
That Disco?
Disco's dropped it. Jamie's looking up the inside of Gary. I think that one's side by side through the crane of curves. No, Jamie's got that one done in the background. D Biggs now on the back of Sooty, so the Acora just struggling a little bit here.
Hey, it's all going off now, isn't it? It's
better second race, isn't it? More exciting.
Yeah, everyone's woken up now.
Yeah. Hello. welcome. Where have you been? I mean,
we've been here for 2 hours.
They've all dozed off. The stream's been going 2.5 hours. I was going to say everybody dozed off in race 1 and just it went a bit flat. But yes, Jamie then ahead of Gary. All right, Martin Kelly, battle for second heating up, says BT Target in the chat. Great to see Prolapse in the chat now. BT, nice to have you. Obviously, great debut last night, first and a second. Here, though, comes D-Biggs for Shake and Bake up the inside of the Acora. And the Acora can't keep that one behind it. Jamie's going to look on the exit.
Jamie's going to go as well.
Yeah, I think Jamie's already stopped Sutty from defending him. Gary now, is he going to try and follow Jamie through? He pulls out. Is he going to look up the inside of Jamie? No, can't get that one done, but he's got Sutty there. So Sutty in one chicane and a hairpin has lost 3 places.
Certainly has. That was, unfortunate for Sutty. He was playing a little bit of the Yarno Truly game and being the mobile chicane, but they all seem to have got round
Gary
going handbags with...
Little Big Boy Brazier there, yeah. Little Each out front, slowly making a dent on Andy's pace. Although last time round Andy was half a second quicker, so good paces from Andy. Gary again just leaning on Big Boy Brazier. I tell you what, and Brazier again, another wiggle from Jamie, and he's lost it. Sutty's also lost it. The Acora, how do you spin the Acora? It is so planted, I'll never know. Maybe Sutty's just got rid of the downforce to make it quick in a straight line. But Jamie, touched with Emo Guy early on, now a touch with Gary, both through a Big Boy Brazier wiggle. That time Jamie comes off worse than Gary. So Sutty's now down to 10th as Liam's got back through. Disco's now up to 7th. Monkey Boy and Peaceful up a couple of places as well. But Gary now back up to 4th place and can hunt D-Biggs down. Andy still out front by 4.5 seconds.
Yes, indeed, and the Porsche's having a much better run in this one, and they are absolutely flying now, these Porsches, as we can see, I'll tell you what, D-Biggs, another kind of, a little bit of a silent assassin is D-Biggs, isn't he? He's always there and thereabouts, isn't he? And he's on the podium again. What did he have in race 1? He was up there, wasn't he? Where was he?
Was up there, third. So maybe him or Little Each for driver of the day then, maybe.
Absolutely. As I say, D-Biggs having another bit of I'm going to call him the silent assassin because he is always there, isn't he?
Yeah, and it reflects these two, Little Each and D-Biggs in the championship. Fourth and 5th in the standings are D-Biggs and Little Each, but D-Biggs has got the podiums, Little Each hasn't, but they both just sort of go under the radar a bit more than their team. Their teammates take race wins, take pole positions in Dan and Gary. These two just going under the radar and picking up the points that they need to.
Consistency, that's the name of the game.
BT Target, cheers lads. Is Dan's PS4 dead? No, but his game was. He's had to spend £50 to buy it on the online store.
He's been forced into spending money, Paul, which Daniel doesn't like very much. So and he's probably going to spend the next 2 days downloading it. So one frustrated Dan because he missed out on racing and he had to spend money. So as Jamie gets into the back, Monkey Boy, was he about to spin?
I think he was losing the rear and Jamie was just too close and finished Monkey Boy off. That will be interesting to see. I tell you what, Jamie here is getting involved in some incidents, isn't he? D-Biggs getting on the back of Little Each. They're not catching Andy at this rate, by the way. D-Biggs and Gary in the 29s last lap. So Jamie and Liam then up to 7th and 8th. Sutty and Emo Guy up to 9th and 10th. Well, she's past Monkey Boy for 12th. As Monkey Boy again is across the grass. Not good here. Battle for 6th, says Dan Francis. Battle for 6, yes. Disco McDisco face. And no, that battle's gone because I think he was on about the Monkey Boy disco battle, and that one ended. Gary then quickest on his delta last time round was actually Andy was the quickest man out last time round. Gary 29.5, sorry. So he's quicker than the two in front by a couple of tenths. Starting to heat up a little bit here. Pit window opens at the end of the next lap. Don't forget, Kelly.
Yes, indeed. So, we'll see. Gary getting a little bit squirrely as he goes down into the old hairpin and a little bit of back-end slide again on the way out. So, Gary fighting that car, trying to get on the back of D-Biggs, who's trying to get on the back of his Gary's brother, Little Leach. So, it's Battle of the Beatles, isn't it?
It is the Battle of the Beatles at the moment, and it's going the way of Little Leach at the moment between the three of them. I tell you, he's had a quiet night tonight we've not seen a lot of, and he sits in P5.
It's
yeah.
You know why? He's having a quiet race because we're not talking about him.
He'll bin it in a minute.
Let's do him a favour. There we go.
as we do that and see in the background this black Mercedes spinning. Emo guy then, he's trying to get back on the back of Sutty, who's on the back of that Bozzy boy then. A little three-way battle here for P8.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Emo guy got a bit of damage on that 1980s designed fiberglass box there.
Yep.
So, yeah. And
he's got the undercut on Sutty. Good move. Good move from Emo guy.
He sent it on Sutty. That is what he did with that one, and made that stick.
Oh, I tell you what, Sutty's coming back.
Sent it.
Oh, I tell you what, that was an ambitious move from Sutty. Pulled out and did not get that right under the brakes. What a shame.
Out of it real quick.
Yeah. A good job he managed to keep the anchors slammed there, excuse me, because he could have gone into the back of Emo guy, and I imagine we'd have a very evil Scotsman, as his YouTube name is called, with that one, after he got put in the wall by Jamie, and then maybe nearly ploughed into by Sutty. Pit window opens then at the end of this lap. Everybody can pit now as these two cross the line, so pit window's open, everybody can pit, and D Biggs just still hassling the back a little each year, while Gary he's not really making inroads.
Yeah, they're all the Porsche's a little bit spaced. I mean, D Biggs is now beginning to get onto the back of Little Leach, but the Porsches have all been kind of spaced out a little bit. So it's a little bit early for team tactics in it. Oh, is Little Leach back in D Biggs into Gary a little bit, or am I just being a little bit suspicious?
I mean, the pace wouldn't suggest that. He's only 2 tenths slower than D Biggs and was a tenth quicker than his brother last time around, so I don't think the pace would suggest that. I just genuinely think these three are quite evenly matched here. Andy in the 28.9s last time around, so great pace from Andy. He's 5.6 up the road, down to a 29.8 this time around, so not the lap he'd have wanted in terms of the pace. What were the guys behind him doing then? 29.5 for Little Leach, 29.9 for D Biggs, and a 29 dead for Gary. So I mean, Gary's had a bit. These three seem to be having, like, they're consistent. But at one stage, Little Leach is the quickest, and Biggs is the quickest, and Gary's the quickest. They're all sort of, the lap times are all over the 29s. D Biggs will catch Little Leach, Gary will then catch Biggs, Little Leach will pull away from both of them. It's a bit of a mixed match. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. Disco is in the bits. Take his mandatory.
Yep.
There's a mechanics look standing around. The lollipops up, and he's away.
Away he goes. Sutty then,
yes,
on the back of Emo guy. They was on the back of Liam, if I'm right. They're no longer on the back of Liam. Liam's just a bit further up the road from these two, so I'm not sure what happened to them two then. Maybe just a bit of a squabble or a bit of a fighting that hard that Liam's been able to get away. What happened to Dan, says the Wall? You've missed it all, the Wall, if you've not been here for
where have you been?
2.5 hours. It's all happened. I'd say go back and rewatch it. Brilliant action.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, Dan's game went wrong.
Dan's game went wrong, and he's had to put his hand in his pocket. And it's not gone. It's not gone. Harry. Yeah, it's not gone. Harry's wanted it to. Let's put it that way. Gary 131 here. Then getting on the back of D Biggs. Is he looking up the inside at Goddard? As D Biggs just gave him an opportunity here. Oh, bit of a tap on the rear from Gary there. I tell you what, Gary is elbows high. I've set fire to my PlayStation, says Dan in the chat. Dan, I wouldn't set fire to your I wouldn't set fire to it. That's even more money you're going to have to spend.
Well, Dan's PlayStation is so incredibly old. I'm surprised it's so old and rotten it probably won't burn.
Or it'll just go up dead easy.
Yeah, well, one of the two.
Liam then into the pits. He comes at the end of lap 9, so he's pulling the trigger on an early stop, as is Emo Guy, as Sutty got back ahead of him. So Emo Guy has a bit of damage. Let's see Liam stop. Not a bad stop. The guys you've seen there just put the tyre gun next to the wheel and thought about changing tyres, but then decided, nah, can't be bothered. As there goes Welsh.
They gave it a good dose of looking at.
Now Disco here, he's had a bit of a poor outlap because Liam's jumped Disco McDisco face here then.
Yeah.
Emo Guy's now dead last. He must be repairing the damage. He's away now. But Liam has jumped Disco McDisco face by a decent gap here as well. So good pit stop from the Iron Brew Racing boys here then.
Yes, indeed. And Disco having an absolute atrocious race too after such a good race one. He's having a bit of a shocker in race 2, isn't he?
Now look at the times of the top 6. Everybody in the 130s. Jamie, the quickest man, in 6th place with a 29.2. Even Andy was in the 130s last lap. And I mean the times. Oh, is that Gary? That's Gary. Going in at the end of lap 10. So Gary pulling the trigger on the team pit stop. The undercut maybe on D Biggs, Kelly.
Yes, we'll see how that pans out. Lap 11. See what D Biggs does.
Good stop. Good stop.
Yeah, very good stop.
Lollipop, man. Didn't even lift his lollipop before Gary had pulled away there. So, heck of a stop. He's only lost to 2 places. Where's Sutty? He's just coming around the final corner now. Do we expect to see Sutty to react to Emo Guy? He's not reacting to Emo Guy or Liam. So, not what he'd have wanted tonight. That Bozzy Boy then. Jumping Disco McDisco Face. They're quite close to each other. They've both cleared Monkey Boy. So, a battle down for P8, which is for battle as well. For track position, should I say. These two have both pitted. Oh, Liam takes a very, very wide entry into turn 1 there.
Yeah.
I know he said in practice he struggled with turn 1, but I tell you what, he looks. Does it look like he gapped Disco a little bit there? Just a slight, a tenth or two.
Yeah. It looked like Disco kind of slowed down a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I didn't know better, and I do, you'd shout slow down. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, obviously that's not the case.
No. The battle continues either way, Kelly.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Disco for this one. I say he's just not showing the same sort of. Maybe he's had a bit of, luck does come into it, and a bit of maybe carried a bit of damage to start with or whatever. I certainly found last night when a couple of people lapped me. And then I could follow their pace.
Yeah.
Once you get put out of position, sometimes it's really hard to get back to it. As we see Disco having a sniff one way, a sniff the other. He goes to left, goes to right, trying to get down the inside, and he's made it stick. I think Liam Liam saw him coming and jumped out of the way a little bit there. Yeah. I think he was nice to him.
I think Liam was trying to get a cutback, but Disco seemed to have to get the BMW stopped to get it turned in. He looked a bit twitchy, didn't he, under the brakes? And Liam couldn't turn in because Disco was there. What I was just about to say as well, by the way, is D Biggs and Peaceful have pitted. Gary's jumped D Biggs in the pits then. So the undercut has worked for Gary. Is D Biggs going to get the undercut on Little Leach? That's the question to see. Big Boy Brazy's now at third, but hasn't yet pitted. Little Leach, while he's not got the company of Gary and D Biggs on his back, is making inroads on Andy here as well. She pits.
Yes, indeed. And, he's got the gap down to 3 and a bit seconds now. It was up as far as 5. So, Little Leach in the 29s on the last lap and Andy on the 32. So, did Andy have a bit of a moment?
Yeah, I guess so with that kind of time. I would have said so, wouldn't you? Yeah. Well, she's coming out the pits now. He's about to be a lap down. Andy's still not pitting. Little Leach not reacting to D Biggs either. So maybe trying to make that overcut really work here. As there is Welshie coming out the pit lane then. Just as Little Leach, just in front of Little Leach. Can Andy get the second win in the Ginetta for this season? What a job that would be for him. Lap Bozzy Boy's lost out to Monkey Boy somewhere as well, as Jamie then comes into the pits at the end of lap 12. So Jamie in.
Yes,
excuse
indeed.
me.
And I think Welshie just getting out of the way of Little Leach there and doing the right thing. Of course, the back markers do not have to get out of the way. There's no blue flags in this championship, so well within their rights to stay online and to be lapped, you have to be overtaken. But of course, there is a few people who just take that discretion and get out of the way. I certainly did last night. I wasn't anybody up. Don't see the point. So it's all good unless you're playing a team battle, of course.
I tell you what.
I was just going to say I had to laugh. Daniel Francis in the comments. Isn't it Liam's bedtime now? Yeah. I think it's past his bedtime actually. Yeah.
I tell you
what.
what.
I think it was 9 o'clock.
Kelly, Sutty, Peaceful, Big Boy Brazier having a good battle. Brazier and Peaceful have came out the pit. Sutty's yet to stop, but all within close quarters of each other. The timer screens made it look close, and that's why I wonder if Jamie's just had a bit of a mistake, because he looked like he was on the back of Peaceful, so I wonder if he's just made a mistake somewhere. Race leader in then.
And he's in the pits.
Yes, race leader in. How's his stop going to be? Oh, brilliant.
Oh, that is what I had last night. Look at that. How quick was that? That was Red Bull territory, that was.
Gary's only just coming through the hairpin here. Little Leach has got to put in some good in-laps to make sure he stays well in front of Andy then. Andy's already round turn 1 before Gary's even got across the start line. Andy's had such a cracking pit stop there.
That was epic.
That was a good stop.
That was exactly what happened to me, and I thought it was mythical. I thought, I'll tell people on the stream tomorrow night when I'm commentating, and then I'll think I'm lying. But that was what I had last night. It seems to be, and again, is it just me, or is this something that other people have seen? But Donington seem to have a better pit crew than everywhere else.
I've noticed that they seem a bit quicker tonight, don't they?
They do a little bit sharper, aren't they?
Yeah, I felt the same thing. Gary in the 28s last time around, so he is flying at the moment. He's only 5 seconds off the back of Andy, which is about where he was before he pitted. Jamie's still on the back of Big Boy Brazier, who's still on the back of Sutty. Sutty's still yet to come in. This man leads now. How long does he stay out for? When does he choose to come in? Has he covered Gary and D-Biggs off? That is the question. This man, I've dropped my Toy Story notebook. Of all the bad things to go wrong tonight, I've got it back. We're all right. We're good.
Don't damage that.
No, I won't. Don't you worry.
It's like the Simplay Bible.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's just full of Simplay Motorsport stuff. Now then, Little Each has come into the pit, so this is the time where we'll see Little Each come back out. So at the end of lap 14, he's in. Now, what's this stop going to be like?
Hopefully he'll have one as quick.
Not as quick as Andy's.
No,
in fact, it's holding him quite a bit. There goes Andy.
Yep.
He's away now. I think he's been jumped by Gary. He has. Has he done D-Biggs?
Yep.
I don't think he's done D-Biggs, here.
No, that longer stop.
Yeah,
he's still not he was running in P2 out of this lot.
Yeah.
Gets jumped by them. So the undercut worked a treat for everybody, didn't it? Because D-Biggs went in first. Did he?
Yeah. No, Gary went in first. Gary went in first. So overcut and undercut here. So must be done on the lap times then. I mean, some of the stops are obviously quicker than others. Yeah.
So it's all a bit of a random lottery, isn't it? So and that's where we are. So it's Andy from Gary. Kind of the way we started this evening, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Race.
Gary was pole, Andy was second, but I mean, Andy's got a 3 second gap. Jamie looking all over the back of Peaceful Explosion here in towards McLean's. Can he nail it? No. Oh, Peaceful! Oh!
What happened there?
Well, I think he had a bit of a wiggle. He seemed to cut across the track. I wonder if he had a bit of a wiggle. Sutty's pitted. He's come out behind Monkey Boy and that Bozzy Boy. Monkey Boy, the only car who hasn't yet been in the pit, so he will drop, you'd imagine, back down to P11. Emo Guy's not progressed through this field like we thought he would, has he either? But, I mean, he's on the back of Sutty now, so what can he do from here?
Looking a bit second out in that Janetta, isn't it? There's they're going to have to get a bit of matting and resin out of that and nail that thing back together after this one.
Gary has just done, sorry Kelly, Gary has just done back-to-back 28 threes on his race pace. That is seriously quick. He is on the only other man in the 28s is Disco, 28.9. Gary's 6/10 quicker than that and has been for the last 2 laps. So that Gary is on a mission. He seemed to jump D-Biggs and Little Each in the pits, and since then, right, my plan's to get back ahead of Andy and win this race.
Wow. Yeah, and he's now within a second of him, so he's absolutely flying, as you say. And look at him gaining on him.
Monkey Boy dives into the pits now at the end of lap 15. So that should release Liam, Emo and Sutty then, as Emo Guy has passed Sutty here at the moment. In fact, they all have passed. Will he get past? I don't think so, because he's behind all these. Gary then, look at him close here. Let's see Gary on the brakes. And the Janetta's good through the corners, let's not forget. But Gary just seemed to be able to close up a little bit more. Bit of a twitch on the exit. Not where he'd want to be.
Yeah. Run a bit wide and picked up the curb. The curb then will start to just kind of push the car.
Look at him close there.
On the brakes.
Wow. Let's see how early Andy brakes here compared to Gary.
Yeah, Andy. No, I was going to say, Andy in a little bit deep. Gary's going to have a go up the inside.
Nah, the might of the Porsche here. Is this going to allow Gary to get the run? He's going to be on the outside into Redgate corner. But I tell you what, last time Gary was wide for Andy. He ran wide. This time it's Andy who's made the mistake. Andy's gone a bit too deep through Redgate. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle still on the grass for Andy. Is he back on the track? He is now. So a bit of a wiggle has put end to the fight between him and Gary. But D-Biggs now, will he look towards hunting Gary down? Will Little Each as well? They're all sort of in the 29s bar Andy's last lap. Now, Andy's been in the 30s for the last couple of laps. Has he burnt his tyres here, pushing too hard too early?
It's a possibility. Maybe.
I mean, he seems to be braking really early compared to Gary, and Gary closed in on him like nothing.
Yeah. See, now D Biggs is in striking distance of Andy as well. So is Andy starting to? Is he burnt those tyres out? We're 17 laps in, so it's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen. We didn't see Andy in race 1, so we don't know how it went for him in race 1. So. Yeah, as I say, D Biggs is now within a second of him. As you can see, this is where Gary was a lap ago.
Andy deep, Andy deep a little bit.
Deep again.
I tell you what, D Biggs has closed in. Not the exit he'd have wanted there for D Biggs, but he's done well there. I think Andy's burnt his tyres here, Kelly. I think he's struggling a little bit. D Biggs is wide. But I mean, Gary's now 3 seconds up the road. Andy a 33.4 that lap. I know he ran wide at turn 1, but he's losing some time to these other guys.
I was saying about engine wear as well. Maybe he's carrying some engine wear.
Yes, maybe he's having to short shift a little bit, and that's the problem at the minute. Then we're on lap 18 of 22. Everybody is pitted here. Guys in the chat, get your vote. Guys and girls in the chat, get your vote in for driver of the day. Me and Kelly will do ours at the end of this race. D Biggs not making the inroads like Gary was. And he just seems to have stretched his legs a little bit this lap on board D Biggs. Just looking down the pack, Disco's got ahead of Peaceful. Peaceful still though on the back of him by a second. Emo Guy's 3 seconds off the back of Liam. While Sutty's again 2 or 3 off the back of Emo Guy. Oh, and that's Peaceful. That was Welshie wide, and Peaceful seemed to run wide as well. But
seemed following him a bit.
Yeah, managed to avoid him. Disco on the back of Jamie then. This is a repeat of race 1.
Yes, indeed. As you say, Disco coming up behind Jamie. Jamie not having quite as good a race as the first one, but look at the Merc pulling in that Audi.
The BM. We're on the BM.
Sorry, BM. Yes, yeah.
Disco's got up the inside. Has he got that done? He has. Great manoeuvre from Disco there. He's got that move done, and even a flash of the light, a cheeky flash. Jamie's not got a headlight on that Audi. And he was weaving all down the Simplay straight. Has he got damage? I think he may have some suspension damage on that Audi. One headlight missing would normally suggest bad damage to the front of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say he's got damage on that one. I keep messing these. I keep mixing these Beamers up for
Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now then, Will Peaceful be licking his lips at the side? Gary's done a 28.2. Oh, he is flying at the minute. D Biggs back on the back, Andy. Within a couple of tenths now as well. D Biggs as close as he's been all race to Andy then. So D Biggs looking for a second place. Has to be Gary, says Daniel Francis for driver of the day. Interesting one. Gary's not getting my vote, let me tell you that one. Welshie's back in the pits. So then, hang on. We saw Welshie off at the old hairpin. Right, Peaceful nearly ran into him. Has Jamie and Welshie had an incident? Is that where Jamie's got the damage from?
It could be, could be.
Are you with me? Yeah. Sweet.
It's highly possible. We'll probably find out afterwards as we get through the next couple of days when all the incidents get posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
For you to look through.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job, isn't it? Simply.
Yeah, you can't have another job while you're doing this. And we start more leagues next week. We start on Monday night. A Monday night GT5 league in which I'm racing. So that's all going to be dealt with by Jamie and Liam. So best of luck to them guys.
All right. Yeah.
They're the commentators.
You're the man driving.
I'm the man driving, so I can't have an opinion. Jamie is wiggling like I was with 12 suspension damage towards the end, says Daniel Francis. So maybe Jamie has got the damage. Peaceful's gaining on him. He's lost 3 seconds to Disco. D Biggs, he was close to Andy last lap. Doesn't seem to be as close anymore, does he? Sort of dropped off the back a little bit.
Let's see if he catches him back up along the straight and through the GP loop. Because Andy seems to have the pace through the craners, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does seem to have the pace through the craners. Interesting one then, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's say you're down the straight towards the Foggy TS, down the Simplay straight. Little Leach hasn't caught to the back of D Biggs either. He's still 1.7 behind. They're kind of lapping similar at D Biggs and Little Leach. There is Little Leach in the background, and as D Biggs gets towards Andy then, Foggy TS's Gary, a 28.3 again. I tell you what, he's been nothing but consistent in this second race, and quickly consistent as well. Here then,
Yes.
Peaceful, that Audi to me is damaged, because Peaceful, I mean, I know the Merc's a quick car, but Jamie's a quick driver. No disrespect to Peaceful, but
Yeah,
look at the ease. Look at the ease of Peaceful getting past Jamie there.
Yeah,
Jamie's been in the wars in this second race. A collision with Emo Guy, a bit of a collision with Gary. We think he may have possibly hit Andy. Yeah, not been his race too. Who's the next car to Jamie? That's Emo Guy, who's easily 16 seconds, 15 seconds behind.
Yeah. Oh, D-Biggs has got Andy.
Yes, we missed that one then.
Just, I think.
Oh, Gary must have had a bit of a poor lap, because he did a 1:31.7, but these guys haven't really closed up to him. So a bit of a poor lap last time for Gary. We're on the penultimate lap here. This race has seemed to fly by, this one.
This one has, when we finally got it.
Yeah, nobody's put any other comments in other than Daniel Francis for Gary for Driver of the Day. Guys, please get your vote in for Driver of the Day, based over the 2 races, obviously. Can Emo Guy in 2 laps get on the back of Jamie? I think it's highly unlikely. Bearing in mind that he's about 13 seconds behind, but I mean, if Jamie's struggling that much, who knows?
Well, yes, could be.
Emo Guy was 5 seconds quicker, so he could be on him by the end of the race. Tell you what, Liam, if Jamie has any more problems, Liam could be on him by the end of the race as well. Now, will Jamie let his teammate through? He's on double points as well tonight.
He's keeping pace with Peaceful, you know, just about. He's still within a second of him, you know.
Yeah, that time is coming down to. That time is coming down to Emo Guy, though, still, with a lap and a half. I mean, it's 12 seconds. Jamie... well,
that'll be it.
Well, that's definitely not going to help. Don't use your reset button like you did at Imola, Jamie. Get that back up. Good lad. Get that rolling on the circuit. There we go. Good man. Good man. Yeah, Jamie now, then, has only got 4 seconds to Emo Guy with bad damage, and he's only got 6 seconds to his teammate. Now, if Liam gets close to Jamie, with Liam on his double point, surely... you let your teammate pass on double points, wouldn't you? Score them extra points for the team?
Yeah, I'm sure you would, but I don't think we got the laps to see that scenario play out, you know.
Depending on the damage he's got, and if he has a few more spins like that, we'll have to see. Dean Wasaki, Little Each for Driver of the Day. There is a shout indeed. He's had a mistake, because he was on the back of D-Biggs and Andy. He's now not. And what has happened to Gary? What has happened to Gary? Wow, what has happened here? Here goes D-Biggs, here goes Andy. I'm not sure. Has he had a spin? Has his tyres gone off? He's pushed so hard. Andy's back headed. D-Biggs. No, Andy's off. Oh, Andy's off. Can he get it back on? He can. No, he's still on the grass.
Still on the grass.
He's still on the grass. Well, there goes Andy's race win. There goes Andy's race win. What has happened to Gary? We said the Leach boys, and we said Little Leach had made the mistake. We didn't realise Gary had. Right on the last lap, Fogarty S's D-Biggs sniffing his first race win this season. Can he get it done? Is Gary going to take another win on his double points? What drama at the end.
Yes, indeed. And Little Leach has dropped off the pace, something rotten. He's 9 seconds back from this lot.
Yeah.
So both the Leach brothers having a bit of a mare towards the end here, aren't they?
They really are. Can Gary hold on round this last hairpin? This is all he's got to do round here, and then it's pretty much home and dry. He's going to do it, though. It's going to be Gary who's going to take the race win. What a job from Gary 131. D-Biggs will come home in second place. Another podium for D-Biggs. Andy, a solid third place for him. What could have been for him tonight? Little Each will come home with a fourth. 2 fourths for Little Each tonight. Good stuff from him. Disco McDisco Face. What a night. A first and a fifth. So he'll be happy with that one. Peaceful Explosion. A pair of 6th places. I'm sure he'd have took that at the beginning of tonight, because he wasn't confident at all, was he?
No, indeed. So yeah, a couple of 6th places.
There's a battle.
It's solid.
There's a battle. Big Boy Brazier and Emo Guy, they're on each other. Emo Guy is trying to get past Big Boy Brazier here at the very end. Well, she's staying out the way. He's going to get 12th. I think Jamie's just going to hang on for that 7th. He does. Just ahead of Emo Guy, P8. Liam then is going to take a 9th place. Not a bad race for Liam tonight. He's shown quite a good bit of pace here. Sooty Apex, not the race for him. A 10th place for him. In what he'll be disappointed with that one. And we have got Welshie who comes home P12. In terms of that then, in terms of all them points that's been people that's started, 50th race for Little Each in that one with a good P4, 50th race for Welshie and for Peaceful Explosion. They're all at the half-century mark. Good job to them, guys. Gary's now back tied at 16 wins apiece with Big Boy Brazier. Who took the fastest lap? I've got a feeling it was Gary 28-2. Yeah,
28-2.
Yeah, Gary. Nobody else in the 27. So good points for Gary there. With a 28-2, I'm just going to sort out these points very quickly to see what we are. I mean, I tell you what, Dan may want to turn the stream off here, as he's now dropped to third and 64 points behind Gary. Gary's taken his double. I mean, obviously this is before the drop scores are worked out. Dan may be able to get points back on his drop. Well, he will get points back on his drop score, and Gary misses a week as well, so it's not all lost for Dan at the minute. Gary, though, leads the way on 158. 58 points clear of D-Biggs, but D-Biggs not taking his double points yet. Dan is in third, D-Biggs fourth, Little Leach is still fifth. Only 3 points ahead of Emo Guy, who's used his double points as well. Peaceful, who used his at Daytona, he's then in P7 ahead of his teammate Monkey Boy in P8. Andy P9 with Liam into 10th place, a point behind Andy now then. After he's used his double points, well in front of Phil. Disco's tied with Phil for P11. That he's 12th. Rabbit Joe is in 13th after missing the week being on holiday. Sooty down in 14th with Walshy 15th. Keegsend down in 16th place, not making the final race for some reason or another. Shake and Bake are no longer leading the Constructors' title. The leader is the Leachy Legends by some 43 points. Again, that'll change with the Constructors, with the drop scores coming through later. So Leachy Legends lead the way by 43 points. Shake and Bake second. Iron Brew Racing are third. Class of 97 jump GQ Motorsport to go into fourth. GQ Motorsport then just behind them by some 7 points. Run Flat Racing are then sort of 60 points off the back of GQ Motorsport, not their season at the moment, although they've not sort of raced together on one night, so they're only scoring one set of points each night so far. Straight Line Racing are 5th, Simplay Racing are 6th. That is your evening. Kelly, driver of the day?
I thought Little Leach for me, drivers of the day, but driver of the day. But honourable mention D-Biggs and Liam.
Yeah. I'm going to go D-Biggs, so I'm going to split it. D-Biggs and Little Leach for me. I'm going to go D-Biggs because I think he's drove brilliant. Hats off to Little Leach and Liam as well as Peaceful Explosion. Great debut for Disco at Disco Face. Apologies, this all seems rushed at the end, but it's been 3 hours, and it's a night I'd rather forget.
Enough.
Yes. Kelly, any final words from yourself very quickly?
Daytona for us on this one, and
Donington.
For me last night. Sorry?
Donington, not Daytona.
Donington for Donington for tonight and for last night. A bit of a round to forget. On a couple of levels. Roll on Catalonia.
Bring on Catalonia next week. Wednesday 8 p.m. BST and Thursday BST 8 p.m. again for the Pro and Pro. Join us Monday night 8 p.m. BST for the GT5s, where I'll be taking part in a race myself.
Yeah, that's got to be worth a watch, absolutely. And Sunday night, Sweet and Sticky, the ultimate commentary team, are back at Motive for the touring cars. So on Motive Racing on your YouTube channel, join in, and the amateur teams start at 7 o'clock. We're on at 8 for the tier 2. So join us there as well.
Yep, it's been a great night. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for sticking around with all the problems we've had. Hopefully it'll be better next week. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Oh, what a rough fucking night that was. Honest to God.
Wow.
We got there in the end. It's done, but...
Yeah. Got to take rough with the smooth, haven't you? Got to take rough with the smooth. Shit happens and all that.
Yeah, you cannot make that shit up.
Oh, that was a long night.
Oh, you're telling me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just nothing seemed to go right tonight. Just nothing.
No, it was it was hard going for sure. But as I said, shit happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We'll take care of this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I say it all happened with Emo Guy. I would.
Yeah, I think
seriously
I'm going to speak with the admins about getting something sorted about that. If you're not on time, you miss race 1, unfortunately.
They get a 20-minute practice. I mean, everyone, gets.
He says he didn't have the invite. That's what I find strange. I didn't have the invite, but yet.
Yeah.
I've had that before in the past with like Welsh stuff. I hadn't had an invite, but I've done it, and then it's put me back in the same session. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Where I haven't got control of anything, it's put me back in the same session. So I don't know